Wake that ass up
early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest on the line right now, Mr.
Yes,
Roland
indeed.
Martin.
Roland?
Yeah, sorry. No. I thought Charlamagne. No. I thought Charlamagne had said, "Hold up." I heard something like this. My bad.
Salute to my guy Roland. Hey, Roland. First of all, congratulations. The 2-year anniversary of your digital daily show, Roland Martin Unfiltered. 2 years flew by fast.
That's right.
Dude, it did fly by fast. It's been an unbelievable 2 years in terms of just tremendous growth, and the thing that I keep telling folks is that look, we didn't buy a single ad, we didn't push anything. It was all organic. Our fan base has just really been phenomenal. You talk about 100 million views. We did our first year. We'll finish the second year doubling the number of views, and so it's just been one hell of a second year.
When you have something that's successful, on your own that you built, digitally, does it make you ever feel like you'll come back to traditional media ever again?
That's a hell of a question. I could do traditional, but it would have to be a totally different structure. The fact of the matter is, I own this, I control this. And so the ability to completely control the narrative is important. I constantly have always believed, and I still hear in my head, Ray Charles and Sam Cooke and others said, own your masters. We're now operating in a content world. You think about photographers, people didn't care about photos for the longest, and all of a sudden the internet comes along, and then Corbis and these companies, Getty, start snapping up photo archives across the country. Well, the same thing when it comes to video. Now with the internet, now with digital streaming services, documentaries exploding, those who own content, that's now a valuable resource. None of us like to think in terms of when we're no longer here. But the reality is, when I look at right now, I've got basically 100 terabytes of data on 4 different hard drives. My family, my nieces and nephews, my estate will own that. Mm-hmm. So when someone is looking to do something in the future on black folks and major black events in the 1990s, 2000s, and present day, well, I was there. I own that stuff. And that's valuable. That's actually an asset. If I work for somebody else, they own that asset.
Right. Roland, we appreciate your voice so much. And since this is Roland Martin Unfiltered, let's talk about the debates that are happening tonight. Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. This is their first debate. And as we all know, the New York Times has also leaked Donald Trump's tax returns and did a whole expose on that. So how do you think that's going to play into tonight's debate?
Oh, it's going to be huge because remember, Hillary Clinton told us she could use my hashtag, we tried to tell you. She told us during the 2016 debate that this guy didn't pay any taxes. And he's like, well, I'm smart. Look, Joe Biden's persona is a guy who was born and raised in Scranton, Pennsylvania, who's about working class, who's doing the right thing. And the fact that he can stand on that stage and say, wait a minute, I've paid, millions in taxes, and all you paid was $750. And then Trump could just, he's going to holler fake news. But guess what he's never going to do? He's never going to come out with the real information. He's going to keep lying to us, saying, it's under audit. And so expect Joe Biden to hammer him on that and to make it clear you're not fighting for the little man. You stiffed people, small business owners who worked on your resort and your casinos. You screwed those people. And so he's going to offer that contrast. And look, I think this election is already set. I think that very few people are sitting out there going, okay, I don't know who I'm going to vote for. But what it does is drive intensity. And that is, will it cause more Democrats, more progressives, more independents to say, you know what, I'm going to give that guy Biden my vote as opposed to Trump. That's going to be the key. And remember, Republicans keep acting like Joe Biden can't talk. Remember the debate in 2012 when he smacked the hell out of Paul Ryan? I didn't forget that debate. Obama was lackluster in the first one against Romney. Biden came out and was punching Paul Ryan. I expect the same thing to happen tonight.
How do you argue with a liar, though?
Hold on.
How do you-
I bet you money, Roland, that don't happen. Nobody cares. You can't shame the shameless. Biden doesn't stand a chance in the debate. Trump is gonna mop the floor with him. He's a better performer. He's not gonna tell the truth. He's not gonna say he's gonna say anything, and it's gonna get under Joe Biden's skin, and Joe Biden is gonna react how we always see him react, which is angry.
No, not true. Because I'm telling you, if you go back and look at the debate, first of all, one of the things that Biden is very successful at, and that is when somebody starts going there in line, he'll flash that huge smile. That huge smile is kind of like, you full of crap. Then what he's able to do is, because again, we know Trump is going to just sit here, come with the bluster and all of that, but he's also not playing to a crowd. It's going to be 3 people sitting in the room. It's going to be Trump, Biden, Chris Wallace at the stage. You're not going to have the audience there. Biden knows how to debate. He's also been preparing. Trump's like, I don't have to worry about a debate. Right. So this whole idea that he's going to get away with lying as well. Look, Wallace is going to sit there and press him. Biden can fact check him as well, but it's not just going to be about the fact check. If you get caught up in that game, you're playing his game. All Biden has to say is another lie.
Well, Wallace said he's not doing no fact checking though.
Yeah, there's no fact
checking.
No. Wallace isn't doing no fact checking.
But Biden can do it.
Dude, let me tell you something right now. When Donald Trump stands there and blatantly lies, Chris Wallace is going to have to say, that's actually not what happened. It's innate. It's going to happen. So he's not going to sit there and say, okay, well, 5 minutes ago, but no, he's not going to just sit there and let him misinterpret the question. So I'm telling you, you think that Trump is going to mop him? No, Trump loves to perform in front of an audience. He needs crowds. It's different when it's just 3 voices. It's a different dynamic.
That's a good point.
What do you think about Donald Trump's $500 billion plan for Black America?
Okay, first of all, it's not a $500 billion plan. Okay, that's just the first thing. Okay, I saw that deal. We completely broke it down. It's an absolute, flat out, unbelievable, undeniable lie. Okay, it's a hodgepodge of stuff that they threw together. First thing is called the Platinum Plan. Who the hell came up with that? I'm sorry. So what was it? Black folk, which is actually true according to my sources. Folks sitting here, black folks with grills in their mouths. Is that what's going on? Is that exactly where it comes from? And here's the other deal. I don't call it the Platinum Plan. I call it the aluminum foil plan. That's really what it is. Okay, because in the plan he talks about we're going to help support HBCUs. First of all, he's been lying about guaranteeing funding for HBCUs. It's only one program. Dr. Walter Kimbrough at Dillard University has completely obliterated that lie. He has in there talks about making an investment in Black-owned businesses, and then hopefully that will drive $500 billion in private capital to businesses. Doesn't explain how. He says in there we're going to add 3 million Black jobs. I'm sorry, we're going to add 3 million jobs for Black people, or we're going to replace the jobs that we've lost under him. When he was inaugurated, Black unemployment was 7.5%. Today, Black unemployment is 13%. Donald Trump says, we're gonna help with housing. Well, where in the hell has you been in your housing plan for the last 3.5 years? Black home ownership dropped to its lowest rate since 1968 under Donald Trump in 2019, 40.9%. Was at highest, almost 50% when Bill Clinton was president. You can go through that plan. Then, of course, here's this whole section on health care. Dude wants to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. What are you talking about? And so then I love this one here. Make Juneteenth a national holiday. It could have happened in July,
right,
when Senator Rob Johnson of Wisconsin was the only person who blocked it. Did y'all recall seeing a tweet from Donald Trump saying, Senator Johnson, stand down? Let me see if I can find that. I don't think I can find that one. And the last one, he said the anti-lynching bill, same thing. When Senator Rand Paul blocked that, I don't recall Donald Trump tweeting or coming out publicly saying Senator Rand Paul step down. A hodgepodge of nonsense, and that's exactly what it is. And so, please, I'm not even. And then that last point, they went to NPR with the breakdown of the plan. How many black folks listen to NPR? They didn't come to black media. They didn't come to black radio. Come on.
So what do you think about black people that really support Donald Trump? Because there's a lot of minorities and black people that really support him and stand by him.
Well, first of all, define a lot.
More than it should be, I should say.
8%.
No, not necessarily. No, if you look at in the last 30 to 40 years, Republicans have typically gotten anywhere from 7 to 10% of black support. Okay, black women hate the Republican Party more than anybody. Where did I get that from? In a meeting with Reince Priebus in 2016, where one of the top officials said black women hate us more than anybody. So they know that. Now, there was a 9-point gap between black men and black women, Obama and Romney, in 2012. It was a 13-point gap between black men and black women in 2016. The Trump White House, they believe they can get upwards of 20% of the black male vote. Not quite sure about that. So you've always had the 8 to 10%. What he's appealing to are black men who are disaffected, black men who feel as if they haven't gotten certain things from the Democratic Party. But also, we have to understand there are people who only care about their own pocketbook. And so I've had black men say, oh, my 401k is better, my job is better. But while they're saying all of that, I'm saying, really? So tell me what those 218 right-wing, mostly white men federal judges that Donald Trump and Mitch McConnell appointed to the federal bench, how are they going to impact you, your nephew, your son, your father as well? Tell me, please, how when Donald Trump said he does not believe in police consent decrees, how they should pull back from that, how that impacts you. If you are somebody who's solely looking at who you vote for based upon what is he or she going to do for me, then you better think far beyond your tax bracket and realize all the other areas where you're getting screwed and black people are getting screwed.
I agree with you. And another reason I don't care about his platinum plan either is like, man, he's the president. I don't need no policy commitments from the president. If you're going to actually do something for black people, do it.
And if you have done something for black people, show me the proof. He talked about expanding opportunity zones. Guys, look, they released a report saying there's been $75 billion of investment in opportunity zones. I have emailed the White House saying, can you please provide for me a breakdown of those 8,000 to 9,000 census tracts, how much black people have actually gotten? No response. Can you show me how many jobs have been?
No, that's what I've been saying. When everybody ran to the White House and everybody was talking about opportunity zones, I was like, it's not just for black people. It's just a term they put out there to make it seem is for us, but it's not for black people. It's for wealthy people that can park money for a period of time.
But it's nothing wrong with having that information, though, because it is black people out there who can afford to invest in opportunity zones. I am one of them. So it's good to have the information.
But the way they sold it was for our people, but you got to be able to park money for a while.
Precisely.
No, they said for our communities.
And again, no, that's not how they just said communities.
Investments in the black and brown communities. That's what that's
the
whole point of
but here's the piece. Well, no, that's the way it was sold. What I'm saying is, show me the proof of who it's actually helping. The reality is, and we've seen this in many of these cases, opportunity zones are simply another name for gentrification. I have asked the White House, again, show me who it helps. I had a black preacher from Baltimore who was at the White House announcement when they announced opportunity zones on Roland Martin Unfiltered the following week. Few months later, he came out and said, this has been an absolute failure. We have actually not seen anything for our community, but they won't provide that. And so again, if you're going to come out and say, oh, this has been great and wonderful, show me the proof.
Listen, I agree wholeheartedly, but gentrification is a disgusting word, but we do want our own people to gentrify our own communities. We want people who have the means to invest in our communities and build them back up. We do want that.
No, hold on. No. Gentrify is not a good word. Because here's the deal, though.
Displacement is the ugly word. Gentrification is not a bad thing.
But that actually is the game plan of gentrification.
It doesn't have to, though, is what I'm saying. Gentrification doesn't have to cause displacement if black people who have the means go in there, buy up these properties, and we reinvest in our communities. It doesn't have to mean displacement.
No. It doesn't have to mean displacement, but here's a part of that game. I covered City Hall for the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. I covered county government for the Austin American-Statesman. I saw the game and how they play it. What they've done is say, oh, we're going to come in and we're going to have listen to the phrasing, mixed use development. We're going to bring in, quote, affordable housing. We're going to bring in shops and we're going to bring in high-end retails and blah, 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 blah. They're targeting a particular economic bracket. And so what then happens is they're taking advantage of cheap real estate, then re-employing the resources, creating tax increment financing districts as well. And so now all of a sudden, an area that was depressed, which is why the land was cheap, all of a sudden, oh, it's the $300,000 and $400,000 and $500,000 condos. And then when you ask, where's the affordable housing, it's really several units. What I'm saying is this here, and look, I get it. Anybody who's a business person wants to be able to make money. Yes, we all should be acquiring the land ourselves as well. But the strategy is to actually move those out who economically cannot afford to live there, because who you're targeting is a higher end tax bracket, income bracket, to be able to be in that area. And that's how they've used these shams in order to redefine these cities. And all of a sudden, we're now then being pushed out to the suburban areas, no access to public transportation, and then say, what's wrong with y'all? Why can't you get your life together?
Right. Well, that was the thing. It made it seem like it was for us, but it's really for people with money that can park money for a while. They get tax rebates. Sometimes they get tax deferments.
I disagree with you that they said it was for us. They basically said it was for people to have incentive. No, they said incentive to reinvest in poor and disenfranchised areas.
They sold it
as I was at the White House. I know.
I know how it came out. To make it seem like
I know how it came out.
No,
I
they
do
did
this,
not.
and I tell you exactly they did.
Because Roland, you can tell us, right? But before opportunity zones, there was other plans. Opportunity zone wasn't the first thing. They've been doing this for years.
Yes, first of all, today's opportunity zone was called an enterprise zone when Jack Kemp, Republican, was Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. But what DJ Envy is saying is correct, because here's the deal. You have never heard Donald Trump use the phrase opportunity zones when he is talking about white people. The only time they reference opportunity zones is when they are trying to say, this is what I've done for the blacks.
Mm-hmm. And they brought a bunch of black people to the White House to push it that way as well.
Charlamagne, I understand your point, but also I ran the news conference on the show. I had one of the speakers on the show. I know the game is this here. If I can show I've created this thing for the blacks, which is opportunity zones, then whites can say, see, look what he's doing. You can't call him a racist because he's helping the blacks. That's how they spin opportunity zones. It's as if somehow it's only for us. So I understand your point, but that's actually the messaging point. It is to only, here's the deal. If it wasn't targeted to us, it wouldn't be in his aluminum foil plan.
Yeah, and I mean, that's even when we went there, it was to listen to what opportunity zones were about. And one of our biggest points of contention was, if opportunity zones is supposed to be for black people, then the people in that community should be provided with capital to buy back in their neighborhoods and reinvest in their neighborhoods.
And were they?
The biggest point of contention. No.
And were they?
No.
Right.
And
which means that what DJ Envy is saying is that opportunity zones really is a great boon for those folks who are investing in real estate, which one of the reasons why he's been able to write off so many of his losses. That is the game there. All I've said to the White House is this here. If you are telling me it's been beneficial, show me the proof. Don't just tell me $75 billion has been committed. No. Show me the proof of how it has actually helped the people there. I'm still waiting.
How has it helped grow black wealth, basically?
Well, look, I can expand it. How has it helped grow black wealth? Has it increased black home ownership?
Yeah.
Has it increased jobs? Has it provided an opportunity for Black entrepreneurs who own their businesses in those areas to be able to grow, sustain themselves, build capacity? Those are all critical questions. They have not answered it. All they've done is issued this big, long report and just talk about how great it was. And I went through the entire report. I had Dr. Bill Spriggs, Howard University economist with the AFL-CIO, one of the top economists who's African-American in the country. We went through the whole deal.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, no dice.
Now, Roland, to switch gears for a second, can we talk about Supreme Court Justice that Donald Trump has nominated, Amy Coney Barrett, and how that would affect the Supreme Court and decisions that are already in place?
Earlier, I talked about how we do not understand or realize the impact of these federal judges. Let me be as clear as possible. With Amy Coney Barrett, they now will have a 6-3 rock solid conservative right-wing control of the court. Chief Justice John Roberts is now irrelevant. They don't even need his vote. They got Clarence Thomas is now going to be the ideological leader of the Supreme Court. That's what's about to happen right now. Thomas, Samuel Alito, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, Barrett, don't even need Roberts. You can go over there with the liberals because now it's 5-4. That means voting rights. That now means environmental protection. Everything. What people have to understand is that we're out here, and this is what Republicans have been playing the long game. Here's what the conservatives realized. The success of Black people was affirmed through the courts. Brown versus Board of Education. Eisenhower says his worst decision was making Earl Warren Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. He was the one who shepherded that thing through a unanimous decision. Brown versus Board of Education, too. Now all of a sudden you go through all the other laws. Even when you talk about the Civil Rights Act, Voting Rights Act, Fair Housing Act, federal judges made sure folks had to follow the law. Conservatives were sitting here going, oh, we see y'all have taken over the courts. Where do you think all the conservative foundations came from? Where do you think the Federalist Society came from? And then you come to the 1970s and women's liberation. And then Roe v. Wade, they said, that's it. Our goal is to take over the federal judiciary. And Democrats and progressives sleep at the wheel. Only one mention, the Democratic National Convention this year. Conservatives, they understand the power of the courts because here's why. We can run out here and we can elect Black mayors and we can elect Black county commissioners and Black officials, but somebody can sue and it goes to federal court. Take, for example, Amendment 4 in Florida. Desmond Meade, Sheena Meade, Florida Rights Restoration Coalition. 10 years they fought to get that on the ballot. They get it on. It passes. 64%. What does the Republican legislature do? They then pass a law that says you got to pay all your fines and fees. They get sued. Go to the state Supreme Court, which they control. They affirm it. They now take it to the federal court. Federal judge says unconstitutional. Court, fourth circuit above them, overturns that decision. The Fifth Circuit overturns that decision. Federal judges. So they've appointed right now 25% of all federal judges. If Donald Trump is reelected, by the end of his 4 years, he will have appointed half of all federal judges in the country. Last point. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, which covers the West Coast, that is considered the most liberal appeals court in America. Conservatives almost have the majority on that appeals court. They want to control the courts, which controls America for the next half century. Do the math. Ruth Bader Ginsburg died at 87. Barrett is 48. That means that if she serves as long as Ginsburg, she's there for the next 39 years. Gorsuch is 53. Kavanaugh is 55. Alito is 70. Clarence Thomas, 72. So if Clarence Thomas serves as long as Ruth Bader Ginsburg, he's going to be there for the next 15 years. That was always been their end game.
So if Democrats get into the White House in November, what can they do to combat that? Because I've heard about them adding 4 more, I think, Supreme Court justice seats, but people don't think they got the balls to do that. What do you think?
Well, that's part of the problem. They don't have the balls to do it, and then they should. And people will say, you're packing the court. No, we're equalizing the court. Here's the deal. This is real simple. The New Yorker has an article on James Baker, who served as chief of staff to President George H.W. Bush. He was Secretary of State. He's been a statesman, Republican his whole life. He called Donald Trump nuts. He just eviscerated him, but he voted for him. Because you know what he said? I'm a Republican, and we control the levers of power. This is the difference between Republicans and Democrats. Republicans, when they have power, they use it.
That's right.
And they wield it. Democrats must do it. I told Senator Chuck Schumer, y'all take control of the Senate. When it's time to make appointments, and Republicans go, hey, y'all should say, don't even talk. Don't even talk. I'm not going to consider y'all. I don't want to hear your opinion. If Democrats get control of the United States Senate, you should run the table. In a Mitch McConnell or any other stuff, open their mouths. I don't want to hear it. Y'all completely ignored us. You wield power. That's how you do it. Donald Trump is showing if you're ruthless and you don't care and you have a party that has no principles who won't say anything to let you do what you want to do. I'm not saying Democrats should not have principles, morals, or values. What I am saying is don't let nonsense get in the way of you wielding power. They should increase the Supreme Court, but they should also look at the circuit courts. They should say every opening, we're going to fill it with the most liberal, progressive judge possible. Because you know what the right does? They have filled those federal 218 seats the same way. They going to confirm this week a woman who graduated from law school, y'all, 8 years ago. Has never tried a case in her life, but she's going to have a lifetime appointment to the federal bench. They better wield power and let Republicans know, oh, y'all see how y'all rolled us? Guess what? We about to roll y'all as well.
Roland, as we're getting ready to watch the debates, tonight, what advice would you give Joe Biden? If you had to advise him, what would you tell him are some of the things that he needs to do in order to make sure that he really makes a big splash in the debate?
If I'm Joe Biden, I used that punch that Muhammad Ali used on Sonny Liston. Just flick it. When Trump start lying, flash that smile and say, lie, another lie, another lie. I would literally say, is it possible for you to tell one thing that's true tonight? I mean, here's the deal. Trump hates to be ridiculed. He hates to be embarrassed. Remember, Obama just got under his skin at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. That's how you go at him. And Joe Biden has to be emphatic. He has to be clear. And he has to also hit him on his attacks on Gold Star families and the generals, because America does not like it when you hit the military. I'm telling you, Joe Biden can do it. I suspect Joe Biden will do it. And for all these people who think it's not going to turn out well, I think it's different. He's going to cause orange to turn red. And that's what you do. You got to sit here and then you got to tell. You're not a billionaire.
You can do it, Roland. You can't shame the shameless.
It's not. No. Remember, see, you think he's talking to him. He's not talking to him. He's talking to the camera, but he's the foil. And what you do is you get under his skin, but you don't let it. You don't go into this prolonged deal. You just simply sit. I'm telling you, when he goes there, lie, another lie, another lie.
I think that would work.
What did Ronald Reagan use against Walter Mondale? Here we go again. Here we go again. It was an effective debate strategy, and that's how he was able to simply just go at Walter Mondale. Here we go again. It was his way of saying another lie. It's very effective when you're debating, especially when there's no audience in the room. It's just three people, the two principals, Chris Wallace and the camera.
Yeah, I think that'll work if Joe Biden can keep his old white male ego in check. If not, I think he gets flustered early.
Well, here's the deal. I mean, that's the whole key, but I'm telling you, if you go back to that debate in 2012, first of all, he came out so hot, I was like, okay, Joe, pull it back. he was like raring to go to tear apart Paul Ryan, and he did, because Democrats said we need a strong performance after Obama's lackluster performance the first time. It's there, but he has to be on point. Again, stay on message. Hit him on coronavirus and 200,000 dead, and just simply say, you told us 15 cases down to 0. You told us it was going to go away. You told us that. See, then when he goes, but before coronavirus, the economy, no. Black unemployment rate is 13 points today. It's 14 overall. Is this today? You can say before all you want to, and then when Donald Trump says that he's going to say it, I built the biggest economy, and all Biden has to say, no. Barack and I handed you a great economy like your daddy handed you millions to start your business.
That's a great comeback, but you need to be one of his speechwriters, because you know that ain't coming.
I love it. Well,
that's a phenomenal comeback.
I love it. We'll be watching tonight, and we'll be watching Roland Martin Unfiltered to get all of your commentary as well. We appreciate you, Roland Martin.
One more thing, though, Roland. When he hammers Joe Biden on his record for black people, because we've seen all the ads, he's going to come at Joe for that.
Right.
How does Joe respond?
I think Joe Biden has to respond, and this is the way I'll respond. You attack progressive district attorneys like Marilyn Mosby. You said police consent decrees aren't needed. And when Jacob Blake was shot in Kenosha, Wisconsin, you didn't come there to console the family or meet with the community like I did. You only met with law enforcement. We need a president who cares about law enforcement and cares about the community and cares about people. And that's exactly what we also did. And then what you also say is, hey, we have problems with the criminal justice system, but let me remind you, your party blocked criminal justice reform when Barack and I were in the White House. Where were you?
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Roland Martin, for checking in. We definitely
appreciate you, Roland.
Brother.
Appreciate you.
Anytime. Thanks a lot.
Roland, peace, bro.
It's Roland Martin. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.